Welcome to the RePsychled podcast, where we discuss everyday issues from a mental health perspective. We are your hosts, Dr. Rashonda Strickland,
Dr. LaFanya Jones-Hines,
and Dr. Nichelle Wall. Now, don't get it twisted. We're not going to be your stereotypical therapist.
What we will be is informative, down to earth, a little spicy, and vulnerable.
All right, interns, turn up your volume, grab your pen and paper. It's supervision time. As a reminder, this podcast is not meant to take the place of a relationship with a licensed mental health professional.
Welcome back to session 127. This broad, of course, we are going to be talking about a myriad of hot topics, current events. Welcome to the show.
Yay.
Hello.
Hola. First of all, I want to say, can y'all appreciate this stoplight action we got going on right here?
It was unintentional.
Unintentional.
Completely.
And we're sitting in the order. Now, I don't know if it's mirrored in reverse for y'all, but on our end, it is definitely going in a stop, yield, and go.
Yes. Hilarious.
Personality-wise, it actually fits as well.
I mean, we probably need to switch technically. She to go, and I'm not going anywhere.
Yes.
Man, I'm so excited.
I know, y'all. Oh, yeah. Hey, y'all. We got 6 people on. Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey.
Say something, like something, comment something.
Share some.
Yes.
Twerk some. I'll just play.
Okay.
Oh, man. So, we got...
Hey, Annette.
Hey, Auntie. So, everybody know, if you listen to the podcast, that MMB is my favorite. Everybody knows that I love MMB. But running a very close runner-up is This Broad.
I love This Broads.
Because this is like the one time where we don't have to be so professional and like, hi, I'm Dr. Strickland. We get to just be LaFanya, Rashonda, and Nichelle. Mm-hmm. So, okay. What we starting off with?
Well, of course, we got to do our lovely sponsors and all things in that area. So let me get over to that area, y'all. So our first person is
Drumroll.
myself. It's myself.
So let me tell y'all how y'all Dr. Wall be working, okay? So I don't know why she didn't realize that, of course, we were going to buy her journal. She done bought us a journal. Like, why you buying your own journal for us? Of course we going to buy one. Mm-hmm. What are you doing?
But
hey, Daddy.
Having extras, that's okay. It don't hurt to have a little bit more than one.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. And of course, as usual, y'all, we will be picking people that make comments, and we will have 3 people that we choose from. So one will be a guy for the men's journal, one will be a lady for the ladies' journal, and then for our third little sponsorship situation. Okay, so we want to make sure that y'all get all the goodies.
Yes. So make sure y'all comment.
Hey,
because we
Mama.
looking at the comments.
Yes. So for our second sponsorship, we have the beautiful Melanin Skin Studio, which is from Monique. She is my esthetician, and my mama esthetician, and some other people esthetician. But she is sponsoring a free facial for a lucky winner. It can be anybody. It does not matter. Ethnicity, it does not matter gender or any of that. She also has some skin products, a whole system. You need a cleanser, you need some serums, you need toner, like whatever you need, she got your back. So please check her out at Melanin Skin Studio.
Hey, Uncle Juicy. I was like, wait a minute, not Uncle Juicy on here. Okay. I was like, make sure I give that shout out. And you too, Mama and Auntie, I love y'all. So the lady that we're just is this where we got the whipped butter and
No.
you know which one I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Because I was like, I liked that stuff.
I did too.
Y'all know I just be finding people.
So just in case y'all don't realize, every time we do this broad, we do try to feature some sponsors, some products, some merch. So if you have merch, if you know someone who has merch that want to get featured on the show, let us know. Have them contact us and we can figure some things out, and then we can display their products.
Now, of course, as y'all see, there are no beverages, so we need to get the beverages this time.
Libations.
So in honor of all things green, even though this is not a green episode, but it's November, and November is my month, we got some good lemon lime Moscato. Can y'all see?
Hold on. Wait a minute. We got a new flavor out here today. Hold on.
Yes. So let me get that set up because y'all know I'm clumsy.
Please
Okay.
don't knock that laptop over.
Look, we just finally got our setup. Like, if y'all knew, where is Lag at? Because
I
if y'all
know, where
knew
is he?
where the struggle that we done had with this setup, the OGs know, the OG interns know that we have been through many a change over the last 2 years.
Yes.
And the last year trying to get this set up to look decent. So y'all let us know what y'all think, because we thinking about maybe adding, a little dimension back here and see how things go. Oh, thank you. And as well, we got to also y'all can't
Do that every time like they can see that.
I know. I'm going to try to do my 2014. We got the little sponsorship, self-sponsor out here in these streets.
So Hollis said it looks good. So thank you.
Cute. Oh, it's all clear.
Thank you, Miss Linda Mercer. We're glad you're here.
Thank you, Auntie.
Oh, that ain't bad.
Okay.
Why is it spicy?
Y'all come get her. Come get Dr. Strickler. She out here tripping.
You said it's spicy?
Yeah,
I don't taste no spicy.
really.
No.
It tastes like Southwestern to me.
What?
Like I'm ready to go eat some like fajitas and like some chips and
That's every day
Oh,
for you.
Lord.
What are you
I
talking
know.
about?
That's your
Now,
favorite
let us
food.
get into this show because she taking us too fast.
I'm sorry.
Thank
I'm
you,
sorry.
Miss Cindy.
So, as y'all know, we always like to, on our Disc Bras, do current events, things that are going on in the media, trending topics, and things of that nature. So, we wanted to start out not as heavy as we're going to get, but a little heavy. So, our first topic is the comedian Sinbad. So, as y'all know, some recent photos have come about of him, going through his journey with his stroke. And so we realized he hasn't made the progress we thought he was making. And so
I don't think he's even made the progress the doctors thought he was going to make
Yeah.
either. Because I think he had to have the surgery twice. Well, he had to have one surgery, and then he was sent to another hospital to have a different surgery.
okay.
And once he opened his eyes, that's when his family or doctors and everybody realized that he couldn't move his one side of his body. I can't remember which side, and couldn't do certain things. So that makes me feel sad because I just remember him on Different World, and him being, of course, himself funny.
Yeah,
And so that just makes me feel sad. I definitely pray that he gets better.
absolutely. When I saw these images, it made me really think about how being sick changes you so much physically.
Yes.
How you don't even almost look like the same person. And that going down like that, how long of a recovery process that can be to come from, something like a stroke. Everything, this is all up here. This is what keeps you going, makes you really who you are.
The hard drive.
Yeah.
Right. and that you really are just like hitting a reset button and you got to start, all the way over.
And I just, it makes me think about people who, and Lord knows I pray that this is not his story, but, it just makes me think about people who end up giving up because it's too complicated to try and get back to, because they try to get back to where they used to be, and that may not ever happen.
Yeah. And I think also with him more than likely being the breadwinner of his entire family, it's pressure, to get back out there, to make money, to do different things like that. This also put me in the mindset of when I first realized that like celebrities don't live forever.
I know.
Look,
y'all,
we getting old.
I was like, if somebody else leave, I ain't gonna make it.
Getting old.
We are getting old, but I wanted to ask y'all the question: what was the first celebrity or a couple of celebrities that really impacted you with
Whitney Houston,
with their passing? Okay, that was the first recently.
Yes, because everybody always know that I have always thought that Whitney Houston and my mother look alike.
Okay.
On that, I don't know if y'all have ever seen that video, Run to You, when she was in there all white and she was running. I said, that's my mama. That woman looked just like my mama. And so when she when she passed away, it was like, my mama look alike.
Oh man.
So yeah, that was rough.
Yeah. I would say for me, it was Aaliyah. That was the first celebrity that, like, oh my gosh, like, because she was so young, we weren't very far apart in age. And, I really, really resonated with her style, her music. Like, I even, to this day, I think I still have the newspaper article that showcased, the airplane crash and everything. So she was probably the first person that I was like, oh, wait a minute. They're not superhuman. Like these are real living, breathing individuals. And she was the first like contemporary person that I would recognize as part of, our generation that passed away, versus somebody like I know Eartha Kitt just recently passed, but like somebody like from a different era, she was a part of, like our coming up. So I think that was the biggest one for me. Now, of course, there were subsequent ones after that, but she was probably the first.
Yeah.
Roll call said Tupac. Yeah, that one was.
Yeah, that one was significant.
I think his was significant because it was tragic.
Yeah. Yeah. Because him and Biggie were together, but they weren't apart. As impactful for me. I would say the first person I remember, this isn't the most impactful, was Red Fox. And the reason why that stands out is because it was something that me and my family used to watch all the time. And that was my first glimpse of death. And I was like, shook. I was shook from that. I was like, oh, not the funny man. I wasn't like tearful or anything like that, but it kind of scared me as a kid because I was like, wait, these people, they're not
invincible.
Yeah. But, and my mama can attest to this, the first person who rocked me was Aaliyah. Like I was in the bed weeping. And my mom was like, Nichelle, you got to stop. You got to, like, it was like I had lost my best friend. I was able to meet this woman. Like, she was just such a big influence to me. Like, me and my brother, but we knew the whole dance, all the dance routines. This when he was smaller than me and I could flip him. And then I could go back to being Aaliyah, because he couldn't flip me, you know. But I was toe up.
Another one that was hard for me was Michael Jackson.
Yes. I think Michael Jackson in my like adult years, because when Aaliyah passed, I was only 18. So, I was still real young. It was my freshman year in college.
Yeah.
But Michael Jackson was like, wait a minute. Michael Jackson's dead? What do you like Michael Jackson?
To me, Michael Jackson, Prince and
one.
Whitney Houston was supposed to live forever.
Yeah.
They were all supposed to live forever.
Hey, Lag.
Lag, where you been?
Yeah.
I was just looking for you.
My mom says Minnie Riperton. That was a hard one for our whole family because it was also in the area of breast cancer. I was like, if this cancer stuff
I saw my mom's comment, and I don't even know why she didn't say this in her comment, because to this day, she still says that what's that man name? Jesus, I just lost it. Sexual healing.
Marvin
Gaye.
Whew, Lord help me. Ma, I don't know why you did not put Marvin Gaye in the comments, because to this day you still talk about Marvin Gaye dying.
And
she talking about Marvin Gaye. Yeah, and also just so everybody that's newly joining us, we will be displaying all of your comments on the screen. Some of them will be read out, but all of them will be featured on our screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think we all have, somebody that had a significant impact. And I think the difference now maybe versus then is there was a mystique and a mysteriousness about celebrities back then that doesn't necessarily exist today. And not to say that a celebrity's sickness or passing is not significant today, but it just held such a different standard back then because we idolized them so differently.
Because they were untouchable.
Right.
I think the one that probably would be similar to what we're talking about would be Chadwick Boseman, because he did have that mysteriousness. He didn't share his life like that with anybody. We was shocked that he had been battling this for a decade, really. So I think that would probably be the only one that I can kind of think of current that was shocking versus just the death was shocking.
Father, you're dating yourself now. He said Sam Cooke and James Brown. Now, I remember listening to Sam Cooke with my dad. We were traveling to North Carolina from Memphis. Man, I love Sam Cooke music. So appreciate that, Dad. You're right.
But now when I think of Sam Cooke, I can only think of that guy, that Bobby Womack, when he told him, he sang that song about cheating with his wife. He made a song about cheating with Sam Cooke's wife.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I believe it was Sam Cooke.
Know, that is
now our
situation.
boomers, y'all correct me if I'm wrong now. Didn't Bobby Womack make that song? I wish you wouldn't have trusted me so much.
Well, all of them
that was
are
about
like
cheating with Sam Cooke's wife.
This daughter, like they all are mixed up.
I'm surprised had nobody said Luther.
Oh, yeah.
And Gerald Levert.
Now I forgot about that. Gerald Levert, that was a shocker.
Gerald Levert was a shocker to me. I was like,
sudden.
Yeah, because I was like, wait a minute, what? Sir, I just saw you on TV.
Rashonda, we gonna be in trouble. With our Latin community. Oh, geez. Salinas.
Salinas.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Bidi bum bum.
Como la flor.
Cada vez.
Yes.
Forgot, y'all. We sorry.
Yes.
Oh, man. Yes.
That is true.
I forgot about Salinas.
Yeah, because it was tragic. Don't nobody want to remember that?
I know.
Because I'm telling you right now, I could see that lady on the street and it's on site.
Thank y'all for confirming. I thought I was right about that he made a song about sleeping with Sam Cooke's wife.
I wanted you to know, hey,
because they were like friends, like best friends.
Yeah,
I was like, wait a minute, hold on, we done totally veered.
It's
took
okay.
Y'all know a hard left, but this is this broad, so y'all know we're gonna be all over the place. So
exactly.
That's why y'all come.
So our next event or current event that is a hard one to stomach is the Shanquella Robinson case that everybody has been hearing about. For those of you who don't know who this beautiful young woman is, she went on a trip with 6 of her friends, 3 girls, 3 guys, and footage shows that she was essentially beaten to death. Has a broken neck, essentially, was the cause of death, but they lied to the Mexican officials and doctors and stuff that she just had not food poisoning, Lord, alcohol poisoning, and was very lethargic. But there later surfaced a complete video of her trying to not get into a fight and then eventually being struck so hard to where her neck breaks and you can see that after that moment she can't move anymore. What are y'all's thoughts about this case, this situation?
Well, one, I'm glad they caught somebody because they did say today. I read it today. I don't know if it happened today, but I read today that they did find one of the friends. So I'm glad.
One she was fighting.
Okay, so they did find her, but yes, friends quotations, because I cannot see myself going on a trip with people that are not like I don't even. How did you think that they were your friends?
Yeah,
like it's just so many questions.
The only thing that I can think of is that she was like one of those really, based off of the people that are not in that friend group, they are really describing her as a very gentle, loving person. And when you have the beauty, you're doing the influencer thing, you appear to have everything, people get jealous of you.
Absolutely.
And people that you love and cherish are in competition with you. You know, I'm was talking about this earlier with the ladies, and I said the way my mama would kill y'all. Like it would be no ifs, ands, buts, or maybe. She not waiting on Mexico to come get y'all. Y'all not getting extradited. Y'all gonna be buried in Texas
Right
and
alongside
Tennessee,
me. Right.
respectfully. You know,
Right.
like,
Right alongside
it's gonna be
me.
a situation. Like no parent wants to
Get that
that call, and then no parent then wants to hear that there's been foul play.
Yes.
Yeah, because I also remember, I thought I read in the comments somewhere that her parents like funded the trip,
I hadn't heard that.
or at least a portion of the trip. I can't remember if they funded the hotel room, like to know that just the survivor guilt, right? Like that I potentially contributed to my own child's death. Even though they actually did not, but you know how people's minds, you know, we tend to warp things and take on responsibility, even if it's not something we need to be responsible for.
Right.
Yeah.
But I do want to say now the Mexican government, you know, you can give it its critique where critique is necessary. But what I will say is I do appreciate that they are going hard trying to get the individuals involved extradited back to Mexico to probably just throw them straight in jail. But to get justice for this young lady, you know, that she was killed on their soil. So they are, you know, definitely trying to do their due diligence to get, you know, justice for her. And this reminds me of that other Black woman that went to a cabin trip with
her white friends.
all of her white friends, and she mysteriously came up deceased.
Didn't she like jump off a balcony or drown? It's so many of these types of stories that it's hard to stomach. Just like that other young lady who was found in the freezer.
Oh yeah, and she was running around the hotel and
Trying
stuff
to get away.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I don't understand that level of whatever comes over you. I don't want to be that out of control.
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt other people because I be feeling that. Like I
don't look good in orange. I don't want to put that on. That's what
cannot.
I don't want to put them little slides on. Them little orange slides that they wear. I don't like them. That's not cute.
I'm thinking
That's not a cute outfit to me.
I don't look good being a murderer.
I don't look good with my name in the papers saying that I was a murderer. And then
it's
they're going to
over.
put doctor. No, that don't look good at all.
No.
it is over for them kids.
But you know, the thing about, I was just reading one of the comments and it was talking about it being a betrayal.
Yeah.
Betrayal is one of those things you do not see coming.
Yeah.
No.
It is something that will blindside you. And, you know, they talk about the young lady not being a fighter and not fighting back. Just thinking about the amount of shock that you're going through in a moment like that, when you realize you are being betrayed in the moment.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, one of the things that my husband has often discussed is about how tragedy can be happening and somebody is filming it and not stopping it. Like, why are you filming?
Why didn't nobody step in? Because I'm telling you right now, knowing me, I would have also been getting some punches from this girl because I would have been mushing her in her face. Like, I can't imagine, shout out to my bestie, Trish, this happening to her, and I'm just letting somebody doing it.
Y'all already
About to mollywop you. Like,
That first one, I'd have been like, wait, what is
what is
and then like, okay, so are you
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 got
got this?
know.
And then it's like, oh no, we got this. It don't become a do you got this at some point. It's now do we got this.
Because it was 5 of y'all.
Six.
6 of y'all. It was 6 of y'all. And none of y'all jumped in to help this young lady?
not one.
Like, none of y'all stopped it?
Look, I agree.
And sat with the family the whole week until stuff started getting leaked and coming out.
You know,
Yeah,
This
they
is-
got on a plane and came home as if nothing happened. You got that right.
That's
Like,
what
nothing
murderers
happened.
do.
that's why I say I don't look good being a murderer. You know, think about the amount of dissociation that has to happen in order for you to be able to do something like that.
Yeah.
To take someone's life and then all of you have to come up with a story.
And y'all done undressed and redressed this young lady.
In her pajamas.
In her pajamas,
To act
like
she really drunk.
Right.
But she's paralyzed and suffocating.
And we do nothing because now we got to save our own skin. We got to coordinate, right? We got to coordinate the story.
Yep.
We got to coordinate who's doing what.
I'm sorry,
And-
y'all going to jail by yourself. I'm
right, and then
snitching.
figure out who the weak link is, because there's always one, especially in a group of that size. So who's the weak link that we got to watch this person,
Right.
and then who's going to make sure that the story stays consistent, listening and double checking. Who's going to be the front person, because there's always got to be somebody in the front that takes the lead on cover ups and things like this,
Yeah.
right? And then there's always a person that's going to break.
Yeah, and I heard, I don't remember the media outlet, but allegedly the young woman who was fighting her said, y'all just don't understand what was really going on. But if y'all pay me, I'll share my story.
Ma'am, don't
So-
nobody care about your story because you about to be incarcerated.
It's sounding like premeditation to me.
Right.
And my thing is, none of the men stepped up. Your best friend was one of the guys. Like, I cannot fathom watching somebody beat y'all. Like, you gonna have to have me at gunpoint or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's gonna have to be a reason I can't help.
Their stories were slightly different. See,
That's because you can't coordinate 6 stories.
right. And you know they gonna
if
meet
y'all
with them
telling the truth.
individually.
That part.
What'd you say?
Even if y'all all telling the truth,
Exactly.
they all gonna be from your perspective.
Just going on the idea of perspective here, right? So we're all sitting here and I have this glass sitting on this table, but they're seeing 2 totally different things, even though the global thing that they both see is a glass. But the image and the direction that Dr. Wall can see that's etched into this glass is different than the image and the direction that Dr. Jones-Hines can see on this glass. So they're both telling the truth that there is a glass with wine on this table. But when you ask them to describe their experience, it's going to be slightly different. So imagine we just killed someone. We're all emotional, right? Because unless you're a sociopath or a psychopath, or really a psychopath, unless you're a psychopath, killing someone is an emotional thing. It's going to create a lot of nervous system autonomic response, right? So we're all hyped and there's a lot of energy going on.
Yeah.
And in the midst of all that, we got to coordinate all of our stories together. Oh, they're going to be all over the place. Especially now when you get them in the room individually and you start poking at,
Because your adrenaline is down now.
Yeah, my heart just hurts for.
I didn't know it happened one day after they arrived.
Yes.
The girl couldn't even enjoy the vacation that her mama or her parents paid for.
No.
Wow.
No.
there you go. Exactly.
It's bad. Like, I don't know. Like, the people who have been fighting, the social injustices, or, people who have had these weird death things pop up. I don't know. I don't know, because that's your baby. You know what I mean? That's your, you want your child to grow old.
Yeah.
And that's just snuffed out.
It challenges the natural order of things. The natural order is now we don't have children, but we understand how these things progress. The natural order is I have a child, I raise a child, I grow older, I pass, and then my child slides into that next set of generation. Yeah. That is the natural order. When a parent loses a child, it is devastating. But when a parent loses an adult child,
because now you've had more time to get to know them. It's not about them, still trying to figure out their little personalities. No, their personality has developed.
Yeah, and I think when we think about just the English dictionary, there is no word for the surviving parent. You can be a widow, a widower, you can be an orphan. Like, you can have all these other names, but there is no word for the parent that survives a child death.
because it's not natural.
Nope.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
And again, we are not parents, but parents are not. We've worked with parents that have lost children. We've worked with parents that have lost adult children. They are never the same.
No.
After that.
Yeah.
Even people who have had miscarriages. Now that's going to have a lot more trauma because of our country, but it's something in them that it breaks, and that there's not a repair for that. It can have some healing, but it's a fragment that will always kind of not be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, when you experience grief, people, tend to say, well, I got to get over this and I got to get over. No, you don't get over grief, because once you experience grief, you would have never not experienced grief again, because it's there. No. You begin to build your life around grief.
Yeah. Woo, Lord. We're going to get off this topic because my heart is hurting. My little empath is coming out.
But we will definitely say many prayers to her family, and we hope that justice is served
swiftly
for her unnecessary and untimely death.
Yes. And, shout out to those people who gifted them money to help with, whatever needs that they have, because of this. My heart goes out to those individuals as well, because I can't even gather thoughts of how they're trying to get things, situated, how they're trying to, hire private detectives and, plan for funerals. And, it's just so much going on for them. My heart just goes out, and I just thank God for people who have the money to be able to fund and help.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So definitely prayers going out to everybody impacted and involved in this situation, that they may rally around the family and the true friends.
Because in reality, and I know we said we were getting ready to move on from this subject, but her parents physically and emotionally and spiritually lost their child. These other parents are also about to lose their children.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not physically.
Well, physically,
they'll still be living.
Yeah, their body will still be here.
Yeah, they're about to lose their children as well. Mm-hmm. Like this amount of grief is about to extend very far.
Yeah.
So, man, you gotta think before you act.
You sure do.
You sure got to get that anger under control, or rage, because for the most part, anger don't really make you act like that.
I don't even know if it was anything with her, the girl that beat her. Yeah. She seemed to have a little.
But if you strike somebody that many times and or that hard to break their spine, like, you got either you strong or you got something going on.
It kind of reminds me of Krishan and Blueface, because they have a lot of that type of energy.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yes, we do have to pray for the others as well, because something did cause them to break.
And I think some of it is the bystander effect. Something comes over people and they can't act. It's not in them. You know, there's been several studies over the last 60, 70 years about the bystander effect and how something can go on and people may hear something, but they won't actually go out and do anything. It's just like, oh, okay, it's happening. And it's even worse now that phones are here.
Oh, we're getting a lot of. One video looked like she hit her with something and she tossed her by her neck at one part of the video.
Yeah, and I think that's when her neck broke.
Jeez. That's so sad. We could go on and on about this one, but
Yeah.
We're going to move on to something a little less heavy. Still heavy, but not as heavy. So there have been recent allegations of infidelity with Escape vocalist LaTocha and her husband, Rocky Bevins. And he was found, not found, Lord, let me get my words together. I'm still on baby girl. But there was a profile that was allegedly hacked, and this young woman claimed to have had a long affair with him and then is subsequently pregnant. Now, since this has kind of hit mainstream media, she has come on her social medias and denied all claims of being pregnant or having any type of affair with this man. It's just unfortunate because, y'all, they just got their award for
They've been on
the
tour.
Soul Train
Yeah,
Award.
and they've been on tour.
Yeah, so it's just kind of sad that stuff is just always following this group, no matter how good their vocals are, no matter how much semi-reconciliation they get.
Yeah.
There's always something with LaTocha, unfortunately.
Do you think that this is semi-related, do you think that there are individuals that just have a black cloud that just follows them, right? So it doesn't matter, you know, what they do. There's just something, there's some tornado, some hurricane or something that always surrounds them. So it doesn't matter if they even attach themselves to people that don't have it, but because they have that cloud on them, it taints, you know, everything they touch.
I definitely think that's a possibility. I think in this situation with this group, Escape, there is a lot of jealousy. There is a lot of backbiting. Of course, we don't know the specifics. We only know what they share. And it seems like there has been a rivalry between LaTocha and Kandi Burruss for as long as the group has been in existence, you know? So I think the most recent issue was that LaTocha showed up in the wrong color to the Soul Train Awards.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, we can't just have nothing. Just a moment of whatever.
Yeah.
She claims that it was a mistake. Her stylist got the information wrong with the group stylist or whatever the situation. I don't care. Get it together. Have a conversation with at least your sister, because her sister is also in the group, you know. So,
Yeah, I do believe those generational curses are real. And the thing about it is, you know, obviously it can affect the people that's around you as well, because if it's a dark cloud over her, then of course Escape is going to suffer because she's a part of Escape, you know. And the thing about it is, this group, I mean, they're still big, but I think they could have done so much had all of this riff and rap and all that stuff not been going on, because they're so talented. Their music is beautiful. Like, I just hate that
because LaTocha's voice is
they all
almost unmatched.
sang it.
Yes.
Every last one of them. Like, and they still sound like
Good
themselves.
now. Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, when I haven't watched the full thing, Soul Train, just some of it. And each one of them, they each got to do their solos and things like that. I first like heard her sister in some of the Tyler Perry stuff, because she sing for Tyler Perry, but Tiny,
Candace.
what's her sister name? Is it Tamika? Because I think it's two Tamikas, isn't it? It don't matter. Remember. Her sister, LaTocha's sister, like all of them be blowing.
Oh yeah. They should have been called SWB. Because they be singing.
Yes.
They be singing in the background.
I had heard some, I think it was a meme. I can't remember the source material at this point, but somebody was saying like singers don't sound the way that they used to because they don't come from church no more. Because I was like, and I thought about it and I was like, that actually kind of makes sense, because when you think about like people that used to sang, there's a difference between singing
And
singing, right? When you get the little goosebumps, you be like, hold on, wait a minute, how you hit that note?
When you throw your shoe.
See, I think that buck stopped, with Fantasia and Jennifer Hudson. Like after them, to me, at least I don't remember anybody else. To me, those were the last two that came from church that sang.
I'm gonna add Jasmine Sullivan.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about her. Okay,
but she been singing since she was.
Yeah, but she sang in the church too.
Knee high to a
yeah,
craft.
but yes, you're right. I forgot about her.
Yeah, she be blown.
Yeah, she can sing.
Yeah, I don't know. It just made me think about that. I was like, yeah, people just don't sing like that no more.
Yeah,
well, they don't have to. Fame is easier,
and
not easy,
and auto tune.
Auto tune.
Look,
and the thing about it is, people pay more attention to the like what you saying, because I love Mary J. I do, but you know,
no, that's Lil Kim.
Yeah, you know, Mary J. got this thing here.
Yeah. It's like, girl, one day your hip just gonna say,
and please don't let that heel do that there,
because you know she stay in boots.
Yes,
that's the most support.
But I love her. I love her music, but you know, them vocals, they you know.
Yes, I would agree. The beat. I think a lot of people listen to the beat now.
Yes,
because you could say,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, this girl on TikTok or the Clock app was talking about how she ain't no ghetto girl, she ain't no city girl, she is a Janae Aiko girl. I said, first of all, you're not listening to her lyrics, because she's a thug.
She is.
It's just real smooth.
Yeah, she nasty,
and she real nasty. Like, I don't know what version of her lyrics you're not listening to, but it ain't the real ones.
But she hears that soft, airy, you know, almost nasally singing, and just thinks that she sings sweet nothings, and it's like, oh, it's sweet, all right, but it ain't nothings.
Yeah,
it ain't nothings. Yeah, so I hope this story, I hope it's not true.
Yeah,
because
fake.
I would hate for LaTocha to have to experience this. I hate for anybody to have to experience this, because it cannot feel good. So I hope it's not true.
No,
absolutely not.
Nobody got time for that.
No. Keeping in celebrity world.
Yeah. So another hard hitting one is, of course, the death of the very quiet Takeoff. He is the individual on the right in the blue. We have Takeoff in the blue. We have Offset in the green and Quavo in the pink. They are the Migos, which is currently disbanded, unfortunately, at the time of his passing. So the story that we were hearing is that they had went to Quavo and Takeoff had went to Houston, you know, to celebrate, have fun, like most people do, and were bowling. They were literally in a bowling alley, and Quavo and some other people were shooting dice. Takeoff was sitting down, just chilling. Allegedly, this is always who he was. He is the chill person of the group. And he had been texting a young woman saying, hey, something just feels off. I feel like there's just some bad blood here. I really want to go ahead and leave. And next thing you know, the person that he was talking about kind of open fired only at him. And so, unfortunately, he passed away from his injuries. There are rumors going around that this was probably a hit, something to do with industry drama and craziness. But those are just allegations and rumors. How do y'all feel about the rap industry specifically not being able to grow out of its hood environment? You know, I get it. You know, that's where a lot of people start. Not everybody, because we know Aubrey did not start in the hood, a.k.a. Drake did not start in the hood.
He did not start from the bottom. Now he here.
No, he didn't. But how do you feel about them not being able to leave that lifestyle or be associated with individuals that are still in that lifestyle? Because it gets me to thinking about, you know, Nipsey Hussle, and even though he was doing good, he still was in an environment he shouldn't have been in, unprotected. We have PNB Rock. He just trying to eat some waffles, you know. So
Or Pop Smoke.
Mo3.
Extension. Even though that baby was struggling, but still
He had some issues. But see, the hard part is there's a place for it, right?
Yes.
Because they are still rapping about real people, like real experiences and things like that. But I do believe that when you reach a certain, this is going to sound
Place.
I was like, it's going to sound so elitist, but I think when you reach a certain income level, your ability to continue to associate with people that are not at that income place, you just can't do that anymore, because you don't have the same understanding of how to move, the expectations, the pressures, the access that you have. Like, people just, you don't have the same understanding anymore.
Yeah.
Even if you came from the same place, but once you are in certain rooms and you have certain conversations and you have seen certain things, you lose a piece of that
connection.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know another word other than connection. You lose a piece of that.
Yeah.
You know, there's some that will still be there in you, but again, especially the longer you're wealthy.
Yeah.
You know, you think about somebody like Will Smith. You started off, you know, I'm not going to say he was in poverty, but you started off,
he was.
You know, you start off in poverty, but then you've been wealthy longer than you were in poverty.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, or somebody like Diddy.
Yeah.
Or even Jay-Z.
Or Dr. Dre.
Right. So you there's a certain point where you reach a certain status and you've been away from that life for so long.
Yeah.
That your ability to be aware of your surroundings the way you would have been had you not gotten to this place in life, you just lose some of that.
Well, see, I think another issue is that some of these young men are not even living long enough to get to a Jay-Z or Dr. Dre status.
True.
Because
no, there are a lot of takers in that industry, and they will take by any means necessary. A lot of these robbings that are going on, because a lot of them have died due to a robbing or an issue they done made up in their head. The rumors going around this situation have to do with the Prince not Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince, but there is a rap mogul's family that has been involved in a lot of stuff. And they're trying to pin that on him. We don't know any of this to be true, so please do not take that as a true statement from the RePsychled podcast or any of us. But it gives me Biggie and Pac vibes. And I'm just like, can we not do this again? Have we not lost enough people for stupid stuff?
And you know what, the thing, even though Biggie and Tupac, they were rapping about other things, they weren't rapping about, you know, unaliving people, but some of the music that these, except for Nipsey, some of the music that these gentlemen have been rapping about is unaliving people. And, you know, like the street life. And even though like, you know, Jay-Z and, you know, all of the others, they rap about that too, but it's a different sound.
Well, they've graduated. Some of the older individuals are evolving. They're not letting themselves stay. Even Nipsey.
Right.
Nipsey was talking about some crazy stuff in the beginning because that was his lifestyle. But you saw he started talking about different things as he matured, as you're supposed to, because essentially you writing poems. You know,
right, and that's why I say these young men aren't living long enough to grow out of past this. And like you said, even with Nipsey getting to the point where he's there,
I would agree with you.
know?
And I think the other thing is just, you know, on some tin hats kind of stuff. We know two things sell. Sex sells and violence sells. As much as we like to think as human beings that we're so enlightened and we're so, you know, better than all the other animals on the planet, we are just as devious and cutthroat.
we depraved.
And we have consciousness.
We
You know, you think about a chimp, right?
I mean, they pretty dang smart though.
They are smart, right? They are smart. They're definitely smart. But, you know, you can't subjugate a chimp. You can't say, I got your brother, and if you don't do this thing, then I'm gonna, you know, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't need no Planet of the Apes happening.
We
don't
don't.
do that, y'all.
So we like that kind of stuff, thinking about like during Jim Crow era or right after slavery, you know, people would go and watch hangings or lynchings, you know what I'm saying? Or during the Salem witch trials, watching people get burned alive. You know, we're a violent species.
Yeah.
And so as much as we dislike it, we love it too.
Well, look, Hollis, even that, they be speaking. We just don't know what they saying. It's just
Now
a
they know what
different
they
language.
saying.
It's bad. Like it breaks my heart. Sorry, as I pour stuff, it breaks my heart that this sort of thing keeps happening because I feel like it don't be them getting the jokers that be acting a fool. They be getting the ones that's out here really trying to make a difference, change their lives, be better for their community. I just it be pissing me off, just to be frank.
Yeah, it is hard for some of them to be able to move on and get away from the hood life. It really is.
Well, because it makes me think about the young man that's dating Halle Bailey.
Yes,
Haley
MDG,
Bailey.
MG. He young. I don't know.
I don't know some
He
of
got
these
a lot of
names.
letters.
Yeah, it's something G, right? And one of the things he did I believe it was a Breakfast Club interview, and what he said was that she was exposing him to things he had never seen before.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things he really appreciated about her. And you have to have a mindset that's open to receiving and being different.
You do.
Just thinking about Cindy's comment that some people can't move on. And thinking about that young man, that he is open. You know, he could very much stay in that hood life, stay in that hood mentality, but he got connected with a young woman that said, no, I want more for me, and if you're going to be with me, then you got to want more for yourself. Yeah. And he was open to receiving that.
Yeah, and that's why watching them, a lot of people are enjoying it, because at first people were like, oh, he gonna mess her over, all this other kind of stuff, and they were forgetting she's a little hood herself. But she wants big things. She wants great things. And anytime you are in a relationship with somebody like that, either you're going to grow or you're going to get left behind. The other option is you could drag them down, but I feel like she is an exceptionally, intentional person. So I don't think in that situation he would have been able to do that. But
yeah, it's really sad.
It hurts my heart.
So for the corporate thug that I am, I would say that this is another death that was shocking. Because I love Migos. I think there's not too many especially rap groups,
Yeah.
that literally changed the sound of rap.
Don't know what they saying half the time, but
OG mumble rappers.
I like
OG.
I do like the ad libs, cause
Mama.
my best friend, she don't ever know the lyrics of songs ever, like the front lyrics, but the background, yeah, icy cash. What? Like I'm like, what is happening in this car? Like I'd be like,
Oh,
I'm in the Twilight Zone with Trish.
Yeah. So, and I love, I am a rap fan through and through. So I would say for that, it was definitely a recent shocker, especially somebody so integral to the modern era, of trap, that kind of trap rap.
And it's fun.
Right.
Because we, gangster rappers, they be feeling some type of way. But I think once everybody kind of was okay with Snoop Dogg, Snoop D-O-double-G. Once he kind of became a little bit more jovial, everybody said, oh, yeah, we can still be hard and be goofy. But I think this was the era of that sort of thing.
Yeah. They did have a fun. Kitchen risk like a stir fry.
Yes. And it's hard to witness these things also because you have to watch this group reconcile the loss without reconciling.
Oof.
You know what I mean? So you can tell
That complicated
that
bereavement.
Quavo is struggling because they were like brothers, even though Quavo is technically his uncle and Takeoff was his nephew, but the age difference is different. And then, Offset, I say Takeoff, Offset probably got a lot of guilt. Cardi B probably even got some guilt because they are separated.
There was a little bit of rift going on. You still love the individual.
Yes.
yeah.
The love doesn't stop, but sometimes the relationships just separate. They fizzle.
Definitely.
So again, many prayers to Takeoff's family.
Yeah.
And friends.
And friends.
And hopefully swift justice as well. Because people out here just taking what they want and think there ain't no consequences, but there are.
Speaking of no consequences, Balenciaga recently released a campaign where they had young children photographed with adult material, BDSM, if you will, and they are catching a lot of heat for this.
Yep.
It's
rightfully so.
Trashy. Like, we were talking about the fact that this is a pattern with Balenciaga, and I made the statement, they had to choose between, or were they going to go with slavery this time, or were they going to go with child pornography? And they chose the child sex crimes instead. But literally their show that they just did had a bunch of babies in blood and sacrificial things. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
What does this got to do with me wearing an article of clothing?
Yeah. I just don't understand why they take it so far. Just let people model. Just let them model. Just let the adults model.
Well, people run out of ideas. I think that's what I think that's one issue. I think there's a lot of issues. Y'all know I'm a conspiracy theorist, so my tin hat is tingling out here in these streets. But I think people have run out of ideas.
Well, then they need to sit down.
So look at the picture that's up, guys.
Really?
3 of their most recent campaigns is creating a trash bag purse, a purse that looks like a bag of potato chips, and these ain't even just like, I've had these sneakers for a long time. These is like they were outside in the mud.
They were on the shoestring on the little line.
Yes,
Electric line.
like So I think they have a history of, this is not just pushing the envelope. I think this is laughing in the face of the working class.
Yeah.
And also the innocent.
Yeah. I feel like we are such a capitalistic society that nothing's going to happen to these individuals. No. You know, nothing at all. Yes, they have, you know, issued an apology and all of that stuff,
but it really take responsibility.
Yeah, didn't take ownership, didn't take responsibility. Like, at the end of the day, there is some sick stuff going on behind closed doors at this fashion house, because this is a pattern.
Yeah,
you know, we got all up in arms about the H&M thing where they put the little black baby in a monkey shirt. Okay, it's one thing to have, not justifying it, but it's one thing to have covert racism. It's another thing where you are actually making your products be this disgusting stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this as a whole sex therapist. It's a time and place for your kinks, but it ain't on your babies.
You a sex therapist to adults.
Yes.
Let's make that clear.
Right.
But I 100% agree that there are some lines that just
don't need to be crossed
at all.
No.
And there's so many levels, right? That's why their apology is really just BS, because there are so many layers. Like a company the size of Balenciaga, you have directors, you have C-suite level individuals, you have
you have a board.
A board, you have interns. I mean, there's so many layers, so many eyeballs that had to view this. The people that created the storyboard, the people that purchased the materials, the people that you know, merchandised, I don't know what that would be, did the layout, the people that took the images, the people that did the lighting. I mean, there's so many layers.
And did nobody think to question
no one said.
And I feel like, first of all, everybody that was involved in this needs to be brought up on child endangerment, because this is technically pornography for people who are pedophiles.
Very covert.
So,
this is the type of child pornography that would be safe for a pedophile to have on their hard drive. Right? So you got to think about, there's a level of porn that is absolutely illegal. But then there's stuff that's not illegal that I can technically have. This would be that kind of stuff.
Not if you registered.
Not if you registered.
Because you can't have it if you register regardless. You can't have nothing. However,
but for our unregistered, unprosecuted folks.
Exactly. And people that they trying to catch. And but the thing about this is how it starts. This is grooming right here. Yeah. So the thing about it is, whoever came up with this idea, y'all need to check them.
Check their hard drives,
just
their
like
laptops.
Just like Kales, did nobody check him when he was going to pick up high schoolers?
Or Harvey.
Didn't nobody exactly couch. Didn't, because they thought it was innocent, because it didn't look like it was too bad. This is how it starts. It starts off minimal. So y'all need to check whoever turned this work in.
And there's recent so they're the people that we would, call pedophiles are trying to get their name changed to minor attracted individuals. And they're trying to
I think they already passed it in California, I think.
And they're trying to get themselves connected as a protected class under the LGBTQ plus community. So like when we say that you have to be very careful about the images and the things that are being crafted and shown to people. There's always something. I told you my tin hat is buzzing. There's always something
under her hat, y'all.
There's always something in the background, right?
Yeah.
There's something in the background. So when you think about images like the stuff that Balenciaga has done, and then you have pedophiles trying to get themselves listed as a minor attracted individuals and as a protected class. So
That's not gonna happen.
right.
Thank God.
And when I say protected class,
second one.
that is, by Black and Indigenous people or people of color, that is disabled individuals, that is the LGBTQ plus community, that is women. There are certain protections that are put in place for certain communities because they are at a disadvantage. This is the community they're trying to get themselves associated with.
Yeah. And this is why we need to, I don't know why our government officials don't have background checks and why we don't know about it. Because we need to make sure, because people who gonna pass those types of bills are people who are interested in that type of
think
danger.
about when they did judge most recent judge. My brain is moving
with
slow.
the dreads.
With the dreads, Lord Jesus.
I know you're talking about.
Y'all know who I'm talking about. But how much they charged her up for every little bitty thing. But then think about a couple of years before, and that dude had a whole charge against him for assault.
Grabbing stuff.
Essay, so I'm just like, y'all doing the most and the least at the same time.
Yeah. I agree. And I think capitalism is one of the things that makes this so much even more disgusting because people will overlook a whole lot of stuff for green. They'll overlook the fact that you are Black.
And power.
They'll overlook the fact that you're a woman. They'll overlook the fact that you may be a liar, a cheat, a thief,
A pedophile.
The fact that you got brain damage and want to run for office and you used to play football,
that part. They will overlook a whole lot of stuff for money and power.
Definitely will.
They got a song about it. Money, power, respect.
Yeah.
Those three things right there. And people don't sometimes care about how you're respected. They will take respect by fear just as much as they will take respect by love.
Yep.
Yeah. We have a question from Ro. She says, not on topic, but I love to hear y'all's Jerry Jones take, the Dallas Cowboys owner. Recently, he was back in the news because he is seen in, I cannot remember which,
Arkansas.
was it Arkansas? Seen in a old picture being part of a mob that was not allowing their high school to become desegregated. And his face is blatantly in it.
Right there. Maybe not front row, but he's definitely in like the third row.
I mean, it's the same as Biden. He was
A segregationist.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not surprised.
Me neither.
No.
Who wasn't racist in the 60s?
Yeah, I think we have to remember the country that we live in. I think maybe Biden's would be more shocking to some people if they hadn't paid attention to his journey, just because of him being the vice president of a Black president. But he's still a Anglo-Saxon Caucasian white man in America. Like, he's still that.
You think I'm gonna give up a chance to be vice president?
No.
Are you serious?
And you also have to think about Jerry Jones. We live in cowboy country.
Right.
And
I've always thought he was.
yeah, and he ain't never
Right.
Like, I know he has some other roots in his family now, so he done had to kind of grow out of some things, but
He
his
probably
views
ain't-
are still his views. These are exceptions because these are my family members versus like the collective.
But that. I don't even think that means that he grew out of it. That just means that he had to accept it because that's what came to him. Because they love us.
Well, you can like.
Well, when I say us, I mean.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, I was like, you can like the nether region and care nothing about the person.
Exactly.
I'm not surprised. He came up in a time where that was the norm. And just because segregation took place, that doesn't mean people's hearts changed. That means I just had to learn how to move around in a country now where everybody's
hide
mixed together. That's all.
And we're not all mixed together. They're
And
still
he's a
separate
capitalist.
places.
Again, a capitalist at heart is not going to care if you make me money. Okay. All right. All right. I may not.
care what
Now
color
you
you
ain't
are.
going to come to my house. But you can go out there and make me some money now.
You can chase that. You can run that ball down that field.
Shut up and dribble.
That part. That part. Yeah, it wasn't shocking. I said, oh, another one.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Like none of them that are exposed these days to me. I'm not shocked at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if this is a hot take, but in my mind, if you're over the age of 75, I just kind of assume that you're probably a racist.
I can see why.
Like you lived during a time where that would have been all you knew. You would not have known anything else. And by the time you were like, this is into your adulthood. This ain't like you were 3 years old and then, you segregation happened. You were like 20 something.
But the thing about it is, now if you fought against it then, because like there were Caucasians with Martin Luther King marching and stuff like that. So if you fought against it then okay, I can probably believe you. But you in the picture. No, you ain't grew out of that.
And I think a lot of people don't like these types of images to be displayed because you don't want to look, because now the internet,
exposure.
Don't
the
put them
internet's
in color either.
right.
Yeah.
You don't want to look up and see your granddaddy or your grandmama or your mama or your daddy or your uncle or whatnot. You don't want to look up and see them in these pictures. Because then that challenges whatever they told you. Because all of a sudden, everybody was a civil rights activist. You ask I fought. Sure you did. Then you pull out a picture like this, and it's like, oh, well, I thought you said you was a freedom fighter.
Yeah. And my thing is also, y'all got to remember, he's a child in this picture. He was doing what he was taught.
True.
I don't give him no pass or anything like that, but this is what he is. So
Now that's a hot take.
I think
He
there
loves purchasing. Put that one back up there.
Thiesman.
Now that's a hot take.
He loves purchasing Afro-American football players. Yes, he makes a lot of money off of it. It's very reminiscent of other things.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't he the most wealthy owner in football?
Why would
I
he
believe
not
so.
be?
I know because
The Cowboys is
it's the America's team.
Well, and I was talking with my husband about this over the weekend, and it's not necessarily that now they're called America's team, but they're actually the world's team. Like they are, as far as American football is concerned, they are the most popular American football team.
And ain't did none since
like
the
the
90s.
the most recognizable. Like you
Yeah,
see
I
the
can see that.
like people. Oh, that's Cowboys.
Yeah.
Unhollis, you make a good point. She said that's a good age, but I'd even say 65 to 70 years old. But it goes both ways because blacks back then hated whites as well.
True.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean,
But we had a reason. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's fully justified, but I mean,
I would say it's fully justified.
we had a reason.
I think you just have to remember generational stuff is on both sides of the field,
you
literally and figuratively. Like the same craziness that they endured and inflicted is passed down on their end, which is why we have the craziness that we have, and the same stuff that we received is passed down and digested, regurgitated, and that's why we got all the issues that we got. There has to be a unlearning and then a learning of something healthy, and that is just a very long process. It's really studies say it's going to take about 5 generations of active everybody working on it, and you already know everybody not going to work on it.
And just seeing a few of the comments come through, I think something we also have to keep in mind in a situation like this is that while we can denounce the behavior of the owner, that doesn't mean you don't support the players on the team, right? That those individuals, yes, they're making a choice to go work for that individual, yeah, but who is going to turn down an opportunity to be in the NFL, honestly?
When that might be their only way out. We was just talking about this with the different industries. Like, people are trying to get out. And right now our system is broken, and the way to fix it is through it. Unfortunately.
Well, the thing about it is playing football is their job. Like, it don't change. I mean, people work for racist Fortune 500 owners. Mm-hmm. So playing football is their job. So it's not like we need to take it out on them because they got a job.
Mm-hmm. True. It's all connected. Mm-hmm. All of it.
All of it. Mm-hmm. That was a good question.
Good job,
I had totally forgot about that. Actually, that just happened this weekend.
Yeah, because I mean, it came out a few years back, and he, did his statement and all that. So this is like a revisiting of
how
that.
How do you find that picture, and how you know that was Jerry Jones?
It looked like Jerry Jones.
That was the other thing I was thinking. Like, this man is like 90 years old. How you look at that? That's Jerry Jones.
Probably just looking up.
And it's in black and white.
And
I was just like, how you know that? And how was that picture so crisp? Because, film back then was not crisp. It was grainy and fuzzy. It was just, but
they might have had a good camera.
Got it digitized. Yeah, just a thought.
Okay. Yeah. Who run the system? Yeah. That is correct. So our final topic that we have, we wanted to end on a kind of lighter note, because there was so much heaviness in the news and celebrity news and all that kind of stuff the last month or so, is the recent nuptials of Portia Williams to her Nigerian husband, Simon. And so, as many of us know, this relationship did not start off great. From what we were told, they dated for only a month. But they knew they wanted to be with each other. They knew they wanted to get married and all that good stuff. But they both was in relationships that were ending, but they was in them. Him in a marriage, her in a long-term relationship with her daughter Pilar's father. Can't think of what his name is. It don't matter. He's irrelevant to this story.
Yeah.
But I think I can appreciate like the full circle of this couple, because nobody thought this was going to last. And it still might not last, but we didn't think it was going to get to this. But I feel like watching this as an outsider, it seems like Portia herself is able to kind of bloom and flourish, because I feel like the men that she's associated herself with have wanted her for her looks, wanted her for her body, what they could get out of her. And, she is a civil rights activist granddaughter. So even though she be having a lot of blonde moments, she do got a really kind heart. And I was happy to kind of see at this moment someone kind of appreciate that part of her.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't know.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, but if love wins, then
I'm here for
how can you be upset about it?
Yeah. The other thing about
she is beautiful.
She is. The other thing about this, I'm very appreciative of her being an African American, because this has resurged too, and him being an African from Edo State, that she wanted to really learn his culture, which is also technically her culture, because she did her ancestry and things like that. And she even went as far as to learn her Nigerian name, like all these sorts of things. So
okay, so she's taking it serious.
And I think her name in Nigerian is Ise Osa. And if I'm wrong, please nobody beat me up. I'm trying to give respect where respect is due, but I do appreciate that they did the red wedding, which is the traditional wedding, which are these pictures here. And and this is traditional in the Nigerian culture to have a wedding where you have your red jewels and different things like that. But come to find out, she had 7 gowns.
Jeez.
So I said, okay, we doing a real
That's a lot.
African wedding. And the majority of them were all traditional African garb or, all of that. I don't have pictures of all of them, y'all, but I just really felt proud to just have a weekend on a high note.
Oh,
it's been rough.
Oh, that's her American.
Her white wedding.
Yeah.
That's her American. And he's, dressed in his Nigerian garb that he would wear for that.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
If I was ever going to have like a ceremony again, a vow renewal or something like that.
Don't.
Actually, again, I never had a ceremony. What am I over here lying about? I went to the JP. Just over here lying.
That was a ceremony.
I'm okay. So when I say, I mean like, that kind of
Full-fledged,
yeah.
all the.
I love me a good monochrome.
You do.
Hence the hat and the shirt. I would want to do something like that. A nice monochrome.
Okay, you say it loud enough, your husband will be like, we planning something. You go.
Hey, look, 15 years is coming up right around the corner, so you better get planning.
Yeah.
But I think that was a nice palate cleanser.
She was a beautiful bride.
She was. I enjoyed it because we don't, as African Americans who have been ripped from Africa, we don't really, most of us don't have a connection to the tribes and the villages and all that kind of stuff, the language or anything. So the fact that she gets to reconnect with that, I think that was like the major thing that I took from a lot of these pictures. I was like, oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah. No, that was nice.
Yeah.
I think it was real pretty. She's a gorgeous bride.
Dante says he'll be there for that.
All right.
The renewal.
I'll be there for yours too.
Yep. Y'all colors gonna be
that's
green.
An inside joke if y'all don't know, but
Y'all colors gonna be green, huh? Okay. I won't wear green.
wink, 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 wink.
I'm not listening to anything that's going on.
Oh man, money well spent.
So, audience, do y'all have any questions, any hot topics that have kind of been in y'all's minds since we had our last disbroad or just, recently?
Because this is about y'all too. And thank y'all. Y'all been in here commenting for real.
Yes.
Oh, this makes my heart so happy.
I know. Go ahead and click like, share, and keep commenting.
Subscribe, share it, do all the things.
Look, because we're trying to be official out here in these streets. You see, we trying to get a real setup out here.
Also, y'all, we have a TikTok. It ain't got much on it, so don't judge us. That's not the point. We trying to make sure these videos get to y'all every week. But please go follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of the places.
Yeah, all the places. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes. Do y'all have anything that's been on y'all's minds this last couple of months, couple of weeks?
Child. Nothing that we can talk about on this podcast.
Ditto. Ditto.
Oh, Lord. That's hilarious.
So I want to know. So I will say I want to know from the audience, because y'all know I be itching to like really let our hair down and let loose on the podcast, because sometimes it gets real tiring being a professional.
Especially because, we've been being a professional all day today.
All day. So how would y'all feel about us, not necessarily branching away from the podcast, but incorporating more like format like this, just, more open, a little bit more relaxed, more raw, more raunchy. I'm gonna put an exclamation point behind that word. How would y'all feel about that? Because sometimes we do want to let our hair down and just not always be doctor such and such.
Yeah, so y'all let us know in the comments. We do have some things coming in. So from Thiesman, we have, yes, how do you silently adjust the viewpoint of non-Afro-American coworkers regarding hairstyles?
Dang.
You want the real answer or you want the fake answer?
Oh, y'all want a question?
Right.
What? Here's a question right here.
Because I'm going to be honest.
I love it, though.
And my last interview that I had before working here, I had straight hair. She interviewed me at the other location. Mm-hmm. So I don't care what I wear here. I mean, I do care because I need to be presentable. But y'all see, I got green braids. Like, you have to determine really what's most important to you in this work environment. You still need to be yourself, but you have to really determine, do you want to have that argument? Because there's going to be certain environments where you're not going to really be able to shift anything. Some environments will be receptive. Are they willing to learn? Because most of the environments are not going to be willing to learn.
Mm-hmm. Here it come.
First of all, it ain't up to you to adjust their viewpoint. You just be you. It's up to them to adjust their viewpoint. I'm gonna be me regardless. I remember when I did my practicum, I won't say where I did, but I went on my interviews with my fro, and apparently one of the sites that I went to, they obviously were not African American, and they had an issue with me wearing my fro. So when I got placed, my supervisor talked to me about it, and she was like, because I wore my fro there too, and she was like, I love your fro, it's so beautiful, but when you go on these interviews, it's not many of us in this field. When you go on your interviews, you might not want to wear your fro. I said, oh, really? Okay. Child, I made my fro bigger. Bigger.
You.
I don't care about these people because I don't need to adjust nothing. I'm human just like you. You can wear your hair the way you want to wear it. So I'm going to wear my hair the way I fucking want to wear it.
She cussed. Y'all hear that?
Oh, shoot. Is my mom in here?
Yes.
Mom, I'm sorry. Oh, Lord. My daddy in here, too?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
My
dad is a minister.
All
I'm
the
sorry.
rents are in here.
All of them.
Oh, my God.
All the rents
Why are y'all
in here.
still here?
See, it's time. It's 8:57. It's
We
time
almost
for y'all
done.
to be going to bed. Now.
This after
It's
dark.
past y'all bedtime.
Okay, look. Y'all know when dusk hit, it's time for y'all to be heading to the bed.
You have anything you want to add to that one?
So, I do think that we have to also be realistic that there are going to be certain settings that require certain things. But you have to decide, do you want to be in those settings? Mm-hmm. If you work for, so back in the day, my husband used to work for Discount Tire many, many years ago. And one of their requirements was no facial hair. And so you just have to understand that there's going to be certain things that are expected of you based off the rules of that company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, I know that doesn't quite fit the question that was asked, but just thinking about changing your look based off an expectation or a belief system or whatnot.
Yeah.
So that was something, he wanted to work there at the time or needed to work there at the time. And so he fell in line.
Yeah.
But the second he was, no longer in that environment, now he's got a full beard.
It's the same with, of course, with military. Whenever Lee come home, my brother is a Marine. So whenever he come home, child, he don't, unless he got like a wedding or a funeral, something to do, and he got to put on his uniform. If he ain't got to put, child, he ain't shaving until he get ready to go back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think you got to balance out who you are, what you want, but also not feeling like you need to conform to other people, but if you want to be in a certain space and that space has a certain expectation, then you also have to understand that as well.
Yeah.
We have another question. Ro asked, Blair leaving his wife and marrying a friend shortly after.
I saw that.
From my understanding, the wife separated and filed for divorce like over a year ago. So because we don't know the insides of what's going on. Yeah. But based off of the way it's being told, it does not seem like one of those situations where you need to watch out for your girl best friend. It just seems like it took him 44 years to realize
he wants to be with this woman.
He should have been with her the whole time. That's common.
That's common.
And that's another conversation. It took you 40-something years to figure out you wanted to be with me. But
yeah, but I feel like if we talk about the traditional way that I think a lot of people are looking at this, like,
was he having an affair with the lady the whole time?
But if it was that setting, then they cool with it.
As the old folks say, you like it, I love it.
Yeah, I feel like that them people they are old, and as we get older, we don't need to be playing with who we love. I'm not a person that, as I get older, I'm not really subscribing to I got to die with you and I hate you type of energy that a lot of people were raised in. She chunked the deuce to him. So
yeah. Again, you like it, I love it.
Well, and the thing about it is, it was his best friend, not her best friend.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just see it as like, if it was her best friend, then okay, this would be a whole different. This would be a whole different conversation. But it was his best friend, so what? I mean, like you said, it probably just took him 41, 44 years to figure it out.
Yeah, because they had, if I'm not mistaken, they had been married for 20-something years. It's either 20-something years or 12 years. I can't remember. Yeah. But a long time. So if he wasn't happy, if she wasn't happy, it is what it is. But I think we have to remember that his wife is the one who filed for divorce over a year ago. This is not like
he was cheating on her.
Yeah.
And she left him.
No, now the divorce may not be finalized because he has a lot of assets and a lot of things that have to be divided up, years in the marriage and all that kind of stuff. I think they lived in California, community state, all that, So the divorce being finalized is not really my concern in this particular situation when it comes to celebrities. Is more so when were things filed, when were they separating?
Yeah.
They live a totally different lifestyle than us common folk live.
Right.
We ain't got nothing but a house, a car, and stuff like that. They got millions.
So some people are saying they like this style. Some people said that they like both.
Okay.
So they want to,
50-50.
Okay. I like it.
Picasso.
Just wanted to know.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Making sure I got all the questions displayed. I don't think there are any.
I know. I can't stand an ungroomed style. It don't matter what it is, a fro, a cornrows. It don't even matter. Just make sure you're shaped up and make sure your fro neat or curly.
And
it don't matter.
And I think that's going back to that topic, I think that's the misconception about black hair. Our black hair has always been groomed. There are a few people that maybe have
or
freeform, maybe locks or something like that. But that is not the majority of people who have our type of hair. Like if it's a wash and go, we done raked and prayed hands. And look, I'm waiting on my hair to come back, y'all. It's way up here. I got to come up here right now. Locks, they gonna be palm rolled or interlock, like all of these. And shout out to my mama who just started her lock journey.
Congratulations.
Yes, but I think a lot of that thought process is a very Eurocentric perspective that we took on ourselves. And I think as more people kind of embrace hair and what all it can do and how you can still look coiffed and all that kind of stuff, I think it'll eventually work out.
And it's so funny because I was just weirdly enough, doing some research about this, and that there's a Nielsen report from 2019, and that out of all POC, and POC is Black, Indigenous, and other people of color, out of all of those groups, Black people make up 90% of all beauty-related purchasing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
So we are a community that takes high standards for how we look in comparison to other, people of color.
This just makes me go back to the conversations that we've had previously about other people having wash day, and I mean body wash day. No. We want to smell good. We want to make sure we don't got no bugs. We want to be moisturized. Like, I don't know where people got, I know where people got it, but in reality, we're not talking about cognitive dissonance. We're talking about in reality. Most people of color ain't out here being gross and nasty and unkept because of tradition.
Right. That's what I was just going to say.
Just tradition. Like, even back on the motherland, like, cleanliness is extremely important.
Yeah.
We all got that generational curse.
We take that one.
Me too.
Now,
We
that's
not
a
the
generational
ones-
curse I'll be okay with.
Yes.
We not the ones shampooing our hair and letting the soap travel down our body and not washing our body, or not cleaning the sink after we done washed. Well, they didn't even wash the chicken. But the point is,
We done use like 3 different soaps on our one
Look,
on
you
our
got a-
hair, one
you
on
got
our
a
body,
face
and one on
rag.
down.
no, and the face.
And the face.
4.
I got
Yeah.
a face rag. I got a body rag.
Yes.
I got a scrubber.
Yep.
It's like sugar scrub.
I got the African rag.
I got
that's
one of
like
them.
mesh, like
Yeah, I got one of
good
those.
exfoliator. Then I got an exfoliant for my body.
Yep.
Exfoliant for my face.
All kinds
All
of things.
Stuff.
Yes.
The products.
Don't even get into the hair stuff because that's
Oh,
a whole.
God, that's a
it's
whole-
a hair cabinet at my house, so no.
So we takes care of ourselves.
Yes.
It's a mess.
Well, thank you guys for those questions and feedback.
Yeah.
And we will be announcing the winners of the journals, the 2 journals,
Yeah.
and the facial given by Melanin Skin Studios, Miss
Put the books
Monique.
back up and because just in case, 'cause
Yes.
people didn't see it.
Let me show those again. So we have the journals by yours truly. It's a men and women's journal. And then we also have our esthetician that is being featured today, Miss Monique of Melanin Skin Studios. And we will let y'all know we promise. We will let y'all know by the end of the week. And then we will also announce it in next week's show.
So we sure thank y'all for coming through and spending this good old hour and 38 minutes with us. We truly appreciate everybody and
Yes.
you taking time out of your day when you did not have to spend it with us. You guys really don't know how much your support, continued support, actually means to us. So thank you.
See y'all next time. Now we're not gonna y'all know next month is holiday season. So the movie will definitely be something holiday related because
I forgot about that.
I don't need y'all beating us. We realized when we tried to differ to something else, y'all weren't having that, so we will make sure and give y'all a holiday movie and get all the good stuff out. Y'all still commenting about this hair and stuff and bodies and stuff. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me make sure I get all of y'all stuff. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. But we do got a surprise for y'all. As soon as I find it. See y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.